Hey everybody, I hope you guys are having a great week so far. I wanted to start this huddle video off sharing some wins from January. I have two for you. The first one doesn't really sound like a win at first, but bear with me. I'm going to explain why I think it is a win. And so this first one is a story, and as you guys know, in preschool and early childhood, the kids have been learning that I need Jesus. And 2 weeks ago, the kids learned about the man who was paralyzed, who couldn't get to Jesus because of the crowd. And so his friends got a mat and they lowered him down into the roof to be where Jesus was. And they learned that Jesus healed him and that he was able to walk. So the kids learned that. They watched the video in chapel. They went to their room to work on their craft, to talk about it. And in that specific classroom, there is a little boy in there who isn't able to walk. And he has a special chair that he sits in. And the kids know that, and they see him. They interact with him every week. And one of the kids in the class, to Miss Ashland, said, "Well, Jesus healed in the story. Why doesn't Jesus let him walk?" Talking about the child in the classroom. And I've just been thinking about that question this week, and I know Ashlyn felt very, not equipped to answer it and didn't know how to answer it, but I think it's a win because it shows that our kids are wrestling with their faith, and they're 3 and they're 4 years old and they're 2, and they're asking questions about what they're learning, and what they're learning in chapel is colliding with their world, what they're experiencing in their own little faith right now. And I think that that's a win. It's a tough question that we even as adults struggle with. We know that Jesus can and is able to heal, but we know that sometimes he doesn't, and sometimes he uses our suffering and our pain and he engages it for good or to display his glory, or he walks with us through it because he wants us to learn something and wants us to grow from it. And one of my favorite verses and stories is Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And in Daniel 3, they don't want to bow down to the gold statue that Nebuchadnezzar has set up. And he says, if you don't bow down, I'm going to throw you into the fiery furnace. And so in Daniel 3:17 through 18, it says, if we are thrown into the blazing furnace, the God we serve is able to deliver us from it, and he will deliver us from your majesty's hand. But even if he does not, we want you to know, your majesty, that we will not serve your gods or worship the image of gold you have set up. I love that it says, but even if he does not, even if God doesn't deliver us from it, he is still good and he is still God. And I just love that our kids are already wrestling with some of those questions and trying to figure out God, and it's a win, and I think it teaches us in the process. And it made me think of this song. It's called Still God, and I'll link it below for you guys if you want to listen to it. The other win I wanted to tell you all is we had, I think, 7 or 8 new families this weekend come and visit. And so I don't know if you guys noticed, but third service, I was like walking family after family. There was 6 families in a row that I walked to drop off their kids, and we had a new family at every single computer. And so January is when we see some growth. We see new families coming. People start getting back into their routines. And so we have started this stickers that'll be at the check-in counters. It says first time visit. So our check-in volunteers will give this to the kids if it's their very first time. So be looking out for this when they drop off their kids in the room, so that you can see it and know to be intentional, to take some time out to talk to mom, dad, and that child, answering questions, explaining resources, the papers. And I know that we kind of pushed this last year, but I just want to remind you again that it means so much to the families when you take some time to fill out a card saying that we loved having you. As a staff, we send out cards to our new families, but it means so much more for the person that they connected with face to face to be the ones that are sending out the cards. So just a reminder that we do have new families, and to be intentional about that time at the door with those families. And then I did want to explain 2 new resources. You all probably kind of seen this floating around already, that we have as a way to connect to our parents that we're really excited about. And the first one is that we have our children's Facebook page. And we posted that on our Facebook so you could see it. And so if you haven't liked it or shared it, please do that. We want to get the word out. This is going to be a way that we can actually tailor some of the content and highlights and stories that we want to share specifically that's happening in children's ministry. So we were very excited about that. And then the other tool that we have set up is our parent text. So we're gonna text parents at home if they sign up for this, and you guys can sign up for it too. I know a lot of our volunteers, a lot of you guys have kids as well. So all you have to do is text 733-733, text SE Kids, and you will be able to sign up for that. We haven't started it yet, but we'll be rolling that out in the next couple weeks as we get the word out more about that. So I can't wait to see you guys Sunday.